Hello, my Flosstube friends, and welcome to my Flosstube update. So it's been a week. Nothing much has happened here. I'm just trying to take it slow and get through the days. My headache and such is luckily away. So just hope that continues, because both my husband and son is starting to get a really bad flu. So hope I don't catch it also, but if it does, it does. So today I'm gonna show you a little bit of haul, because there's not a whole lot that I'm going to show. Then I have 2 whips I can show you, because rest of my whips I have been working on. I need to keep them a secret until after Christmas, because my in-law family is following me on Instagram. So if suddenly my mother-in-law shows up on this Flosstube channel, the Christmas gifts will be spoiled. So I don't know if she will, but better safe than sorry. Then I have some questions I want to ask you, and ask you a little bit of help with what you think I should do, and then plans. Still plans both for the nearest future and the 2019 future. So let's just jump into it. So my haul this week is I got my floss from Silks for You. They are some lovely fall colors. This is the Silks for You for October, because I always receive them pretty late. So I think one of the things I was most hyped about getting was this gray brownish color. I think maybe you can call it almost a beaver gray. And this yellow, because yellow and gray is not 2 colors you usually get either in Silks or hand-dyed, unless you buy it yourself. So it was really nice to get those. No plans for what to do with them. Then I joined Mo Sales Flosstube group. So I'm not gonna show you everything, but I have, over the weeks that I've been, or months, I think I have been joining for over 2 months, I just have bought some skeins here and there. So nothing expensive when first buying, but in the end it turns up to be a whole lot of floss, hand-dyed. So I'm really looking forward to finding projects where I can find them and use them. And some of the skeins I have tried to buy is like not very variegated, as most sale usually are known for. I have some of them, but not like all of the super variegated. She also got a good deal on Easy Count. That it's the pre-gridded fabric you can buy, and you did buy a whole yard from her for a really good price. Like, that's the cheapest I have ever seen you can get it. So I bought a 25 count and 28 count. So Uh, Now I can kit up some more full coverage projects. And last but not least, of course I should have unpacked this, but whatever. I bought Lady Justice from Mo with the beads and the cry neck. And when I saw her, I immediately fell in love with her. I just love these greens colors and how it complements her hair and so on. So was really glad about that purchase. So, what have I been up to? Well, I have stitched Christmas presents, and I have stitched on my stitch along because I need to keep that up. Can't be the slacker, even though I'm usually not one of the first one to finish. So here is a picture where it was last time. And here it is now. So this is on an 18 count navy blue Ada. Luckily I had my floss parked here because we did finish these flower motifs. Did some more on these motifs and E if it's an E. So, because they had said it will not be rotated this way, but for all we know, it can be rotated this way. Because it's a stitch, it's a totally mystery stitch along. And we get a new pattern each Saturday, or for me, Sunday. Sunday early morning. I think it comes out like 4 a.m. on Sunday, so there's where I'm with that one. And last, what I have been stitching is on my epic Pokemon Generation 1. It's a free pattern you can get online from Sprite Stitch. If you search in Google for epic Pokemon, even if you just search epic Pokemon in Google search bar, you will get up the site where you can get the pattern for free. Or if you search epic Pokemon Generation. And they also have more types of this. The Generation ones, they have different, like Generation 2 and 3, maybe 4, and they have an all gen that is the first 5 generations. So here is a picture of where it was last time. And I will also insert a picture of how it will look like. And a picture of the whole thing, because I finished a page. So I took a picture of the whole epic Pokemon that I have done so far. So I will insert a picture here. And here I am now. So working on this page, this is page 8. So I think I'm almost done with Lapras. There are some few more stitches going to be, I think it's down in here or something. Or if it was this side. Yeah, there's a few more stitches on Lapras. You can start to see Scyther. I had to frog Scyther because up here, one of the greens on the side was a slash symbol in this direction, and up here I worked with a floss that was the slash symbol in this direction. So when I was parking and working that symbol going this way, there was a little jump, so I looked on my page down and saw a slash symbol, and I parked it there. And I just 2 days ago I found out that it was the wrong direction on the slash. I had totally I totally hadn't noticed that there were two so similar symbols. So I frogged everything of that color and restitched it yesterday. But it was fine. I really love my epic Pokemon, so even though it got the half a day timeout, it was no problem. The next day just frogging, doing what I had to do, and restitch, and then continue stitching, and I still love this one. So, and it was really nice to get this page finished. So, this page, you can see of the marking on my chart that this one is done a long time ago, where I used a pen to mark the symbols, because this is actually feathering from one of the first pages I did, because I did like one strand of floss, stitch everything I could with that strand, and then doing the next one that was close by, and so on and so on. So that's why there's been worked pretty good amount already here. And this is Hitmonlee, and he will go super fast. Here you can see Tangela is starting to show up. He will go super slow. So this is the ear or horn of Mr. Mime. My husband said she has 2 horns. I say it's 2 ears. So don't know how she will go. Scyther so far is just in the middle, so we'll see how fast I can get through this page. It would be nice to get this page finished also before Pokevember is done, but we'll see. I will need to focus much more on getting some more stitches in each day on this, if that is going to happen. So that's my epic Pokemon so far. Then to my question for you, or I have 2, but one of them is part of my 2019 plans. So I did a thing. I did dye a big piece of fabric for my epic storybook princesses, or epic storybook princesses from Cloud's Factory. Most people just call it the epic princesses, Disney princesses. So I dyed it a blue color, but I didn't like. I thought it was too grayish blue color. It was too light. It really didn't. It wasn't the way I wanted it to be. What you saw was, I thought I had managed to rinse it well enough out, but I didn't. So I had to continue rinsing, and the blue color just faded and faded and faded. So I tried again, a new method where I took it on the stove and boiled some water with some royal blue navy color, and this is what I got. Yeah, this is not blue at all. No, because apparently this fabric will not hold the blue color. So it was totally dark blue, like a 939 blue color. And I rinsed and I rinsed and I rinsed, and I had to take a break and rinse the next day and rinse the next day, and I think I rinsed for like 7 days to get it to stop bleeding. And all the time the only color it was bleeding was blue. So I ended up with purple. So it's not totally what I had seen in my mind that I wanted to do. So for a long time I just put it away. But looking at it now, I feel it looked a little bit better than what I first thought it looked like. Because if I wanted a purple one, I wanted it like a lighter purple, because this is a really dark one. But now I am considering just doing my epic Disney princesses on this one from Cloud's Factory, on this purple. So what do you think? Should I go ahead and just try and see how it looks like? Because then I will do it as fast as I'm done with my Christmas stitching, or maybe I will do it as a reward for myself when I finish some more of the Christmas gifting, just to keep me going and get a little break from stitching to other people. Even though in a way I love the patterns that I am stitching, it's not for me, so it's not as fun, but still it will be nice. And most likely it's the time pressure that really is killing me on the Christmas stitching. So my next question is, there is a lot of new sales in 2019 that I want to work on. Lakeside Needlecraft just came out with an Eastern Asia sal that Lucy Heaton is the designer of. Also, I know I want to see what Cloud's Factory and Tiny Modernist is coming out with. I know that at least the medieval sal I want to participate in. The Christmas sal so far is a little bit on hold until I finish last year's Christmas sal, because I bought that after Christmas was done and I just never gotten around to start stitching it. So I want to finish that before buying a new Christmas sal from her. I know there also have been talk about that she will do an Easter one, and all will be in the haunted mansion type. Everything will be a house with rooms. So they will like almost be a series. I feel they're all mall styles, I don't remember. So my biggest problem is, should I do the sales in the start of 2019? Or like try and just do a half stitch and guess the color if we don't get a border or anything before January the 1st. That's most likely what I will do, and do the sal in 2019. Or should I just wait and see? Because I have found out I'm not a sal person at all. It's just when I finish a part of the stitching and put it away and have to put it away for a month, it's really hard for me to take it back up again. The adventure awaits that I have been caught up with all the time. I have really struggled to do that, and lately it's just harder and harder. But I love that Sal. I love how it looks. I love the fact that it's going to be a present for my son to have in his room. But that type of stitching isn't me. And also in the way that sometimes you end off flosses, and when a new part is released, you have to reassemble them on your fabric. And yeah, that's just not me. I can do part stitching, but I need to park the floss where it is supposed to be the next time, unless it's too big of a jump. So my Haunted Mansion Sal, the way I have done that has been perfect, because I bought that when I think the first room was released, if not the second. So I never intended to keep up with it, but I wanted to have it as a Sal I could stitch on in October for Halloween, and just have an October piece working on, Halloween piece. And I still love that one and enjoy how I stitch it, because there is always more for me to do on the fabric. I can't sit down in 2 or 3 days and get everything done. So instead it has turned out to be a large whip that I really enjoy. So I wonder if I should like half stitch start the new Sals before 2019 and have the option to start stitching them if I want to start stitching them, or if I should just wait until the 6 months it has passed and start them then, or if I continue with no start 2019, if I just wait until next year before I buy and start them. But the thing is with Sals, I want to stitch on them while other people are stitching on them, so it's not like I totally want to start it next year. So yeah, there's my dilemma, and I know I am hopeless when it comes to just how things works. So I really can't decide. So if you have an opinion, I really appreciate to hear it. Please let me know what you think. So over to 2019 plans. So my biggest thing for 2019 is the fact I want to try and focus more on full coverage projects, because I really like them, but I feel I haven't given them enough time this year. And I think maybe it's because of October, November, where all I have done is Christmas stitching. And even though in the start of October I did the 100 Days of Hate, and now in November I'm doing the Pokevember with my epic Pokemon. I stitch on it each and every day. The group that has that challenge is the Pokemon Cross Stitcher group, if you want to join. And it's just, I don't feel I'm getting a lot of progress done on them, even though I stitch each and every day, so it's more than nothing. And I did get a page finish on my epic Pokemon, but in reality I used 11 days to get that page finished, and that page was already halfway done, something like that, almost halfway done 45% done, something like that. So 11 days is a lot more than it should take, and it's not enough love for my full coverage project as I want to give. So I have been thinking a lot about next year, how I will do my rotation, so on. There is one challenge I am unsure if I want to do. And that is the full coverage challenge, the 90 days challenge, where you stitch on one full coverage piece for 90 days. And then you can continue doing that the whole year. So you have 4 segments of 90 days through the whole year. That you can stitch on 4 different projects in total. You can do the same project each day through the year, but when 90 days are done, you can like switch up your project if you want to, and do that for 90 days. So I'm not sure if I want to do that challenge, just because I remembered when I had the 100 Days of Hate challenge and we had the Poke March. And I had 14 days with just stitching on my QS Huggable and my Epic Pokemon. And that really took a toll on me. In a way, it was fun. It was fun to see that I could do it. And it's not like I'm going to stitch 30 days on just full coverage for a month. I have other projects to do also. So I'm a little bit unsure, but I think maybe I will do it. So what I haven't decided is if I will do my Epic Pokemon as the 90 day challenge, or my Lady and the Tiger for my 90 days challenge. And then I know I want to do by the numbers. I have done it this year. I really enjoy it, and I'm really glad I always have had that each and every month, because it has made me had to stitch each and every month on a full coverage project. So it's not totally gone to waste with my full coverage stitching. Because if I am going to finish full coverage project, I have to work on them regularly. I can't just throw them away for a month and 2 or 3, because that is a lot of progress not being done, and it will just take even longer to get it finished. So I want to focus on full coverage projects more, and I think I said it in a Stitch With Me, the full coverage stitching is really one of the type of stitching I truly love. That is what is the most fun for me when stitching, in a way, because I'm not focused about getting it finished, because I get 100% progress stitcher when stitching full coverage, except the last page. I will tell you that last page is really like, get it done. So I love that. But I also love the other types of stitching I do, don't get me wrong. But I think what I'm trying to say, it's not full coverage that is my biggest love to stitch, is the larger project. I love the larger project. You know how insane I am with my Disney Sal and going to do all those panels. And that is also a part why I want to focus more on full coverage next year, so I can get each and every month stitching on those. I know I will not get a panel done a month. Let's just say, if you're going to keep up with the Disney sale, you have to stitch a little bit over 2,000 stitches a day to get that finished in a month. I can't do that. With my Lady and the Tiger, that isn't that much confetti. I did a day in the full coverage. I had it as a by the numbers, and I tried to see if I could finish it in the 1,200 stitches in a day. And in all fairness, I lost a lot of stitching time that day. I lost like 3 or 4 hours that I normally would have stitched. But I managed to get right under 1,200 stitches. I think it was 1,195 stitches. And I was starting to get a headache, so I had to leave it, and there's where I lost my rest of the days. So I know I can do with those 3 or 4 more hours if I'm like just stitching, and especially if I'm good at get my sleep habits on the right track again. They are out of order right now. So I wake up at 9 a.m. each day and stitch until my husband and son is home, with just some small breaks for eating, putting some clothes in the washer and hanging them up, just taking 10-15 minutes here and there. I get some solid stitching in. I really hope I can do that and get back to that routine, because I get a lot of stitching done, and when they are home I use all my energy to focus on them. And when Leo goes to bed, usually my husband is going out, then I can just sit and stitch in my chair. Or if he is at home, we usually watch something on the TV or play a game together where he plays, I sit and watch and stitch. So if I can get back to that routine, I think I can get a lot more stitching time in and get a lot more done. In a way I miss it, but right now I don't have the motivation, because the Christmas stitching is, as I said, starting to take its toll. But luckily there's not much left, I can tell. So so I can keep up with the Disney sale. Big rabbit hole, sorry. But at least I can try to get like 1 panel done a year. I think that will be my goal starting from 2019. And I have a half stitch started bell, sorry, where I am thinking, I'm not that fond of Tinkerbell. I don't know, she's just not one of my favorites. I think it's because when it comes to female characters, I tend to really love the ones that is similar to myself in some ways where I can relate to myself. And Belle is one of them. That is why I always have had a huge love for Beauty and the Beast, because I am very much like Belle in many ways. So I think I will just put Tinkerbell in the UFO pile for now, or like just have her there on the side and start Belle and working on her and try and finish her up. And just to get the love for the Disney style, and when I have that love, I can get the other panels also done. And of course, most likely, knowing myself, I will prioritize doing the ones I really love and looking forward to, like Jack and Sally. so yeah. Then the next challenge in the full coverage fanatic groups are each month is a theme, and I want to participate in that one. Again, so sorry. Normally what I have done is I have like done what I do for my by the numbers. I have also done the team challenge, so I get both in one. But 2019, I am thinking that I maybe want to separate them just to get more stitching on my full coverage styles. And I think I'm not sure, in the full coverage challenge you can now choose between doing 2,400 stitches or 1,200 stitches as it was now, full crosses. If you're doing 10 stitch, then you have to do the double amount. So what I am thinking is, by the numbers, I will do the 2,400 stitches, and I am going to ask if I can in a way do both the by the numbers style with just doing two different full coverage projects, because then my theme of the month will be the 1,200 stitches. So I get 1,200 stitches in on that. If not, my goal will be to do about 1,000 stitches on the team challenge before rotating. So, and because I am wanting to do my build-up rotation, so I am planning to, in December, or when my Christmas stitching is done, getting it back on track again. When my Christmas stitching is done, I will get that back on track. I will have to see how much time I have if I'm starting all over the build-up rotation, or if I'm like just jumping in where I was since I put it on a hold. We'll see when it comes to that. So then my plan is to have a project going each and every day. So I'm wondering to use My Lady and the Tiger, and I most likely will use her for the 90-day challenge if I do it, because there are so many blocks of color. So it's easy to just take a length of floss and stitch that color until it's done, and then I'm done with that for the day. And then I can go over to the others when I am doing my full coverage pieces. So it's not that much confetti stitching in a day, because full coverage tends to get a little bit confetti heavy after a while, and I don't mind too much the confetti, but it's nice to have some bulk stitching to just not get burned out. So far I haven't been burned out on confetti stitching, which amazes me, because I have done a lot of confetti. So that's at least what I'm thinking if I do the 90 days challenge. And then my epic Pokemon will be the by the number cell. So if I'm not doing the 90 days challenge, my Lady and the Tiger will be my by the number cell, and I will have to put my epic Pokemon in somewhere else. At least I will try to get my epic Pokemon then as much as I can into the theme challenges. But I hope I can do the 90 days challenge, because then I get to touch a lot of my full coverage in a month. So by the numbers theme challenges, by the numbers I think will stay the same for at least most of the year, and theme challenges will change each month, so that makes me get the opportunity to stitch on a lot of different full coverage pieces. Then on my rotation I have switched up a little bit how it looks. So in a way I have still my sales and gifts. I have taken away swaps because I will not do swaps next year, I think, because they will be new starts. So next year the only excuse is gifts, doing gifts, that I will start, because I don't want to end up like this year and suddenly having to do a whole lot of gifts in the last minutes when it comes to crafting. So, but the sales and gifts rotation, it will show up at the end of the month, even though it's the new start of the rotation, so that the next part of the rotation, that is my by the numbers sal, so it will be the Lady and the Tiger, will start on the 1st of each month. So my sales and gifts rotation will automatically end when I get to the 1st of each month. And depending on how fast I get through the other rotation, depends on how long the sales and gifts rotation will last. So sales and gifts, by the numbers, theme of the month, and then I am going to do a Fancy Lady focus, which will be my Cinderella that Stacy was so nice to borrow me and let me be allowed to use the kit. So Cinderella is going to be my Fancy Lady focus. Then I am going to do a non-full coverage focus, which will be, I have started to make a list over which one they are, so when I finish one of them, a new one will get on the list. So I think 4 in the Bush is one of them, just because it is so small and I just want to get it done and out of the way, even though it will take some time, because I think I had decided to frog it, because I did a mistake in the beginning when counting and I just fudged it, but since it's a geometrical design, the fudging just doesn't work, so I need to frog it, even though it pains my heart to frog silk. So yeah, but then non-full coverage focus. Then the next one is going to be full coverage that is tickling my fancy. So that rotation will be also rotating each and every month, depending on what I want to do. And it will also be an opportunity for me to focus on a whip that in a way I need focusing, but at the same time I want to focus, but I don't have an excuse to do it. So in the beginning that will be my Lion King by Thomas Kincaid that Julie was so kind to adopt to me. I was allowed to adopt it. I am going to start it from the beginning because she had started stitching, but I will find some new fabric. I have converted the floss list and I will start stitching from the beginning. And just to see that my conversion fits. And when I'm done, I am going to keep sprinkling the stitchy kindness. So I will also put in my conversion list, and that will be available for someone to get when I'm done with it. So, but it will most likely be maybe a year. And then then my next thing is non-full coverage that is tickling my fancy. And the ones I'm saying tickling my fancy, if I can't decide, because there's my biggest problem, I have made some wheels in my tiny decision saps, and I'm just going to spin, and then I'm going to work on whatever it spins. Just because I know myself, I like to have a plan and to work after, and just change it as I go if I need it to change. So, and then in the month, each and every whip will get, with having 7 categories, so in a month, it will, in a 30-day month, it will give me 4.2 days to stitch on each and every category. But with my build-up rotation, it's not exactly how that works. So I will work by the numbers of My Lady and the Tiger, and when I'm done with the by the numbers, then I switch to the next one. The themed ones, I have said that I will either do 1200 stitches if I can do both by the numbers, or I will do 1000 stitches, and when they are done I will go to the next one. So it will be a build up rotation with something has a little bit focused on I rotate when I have a part finished, and some will be just when I have 3 days done. So the Fancy Lady Focus, I will do 4 days on her. If I am pretty fast at getting the by the numbers and the theme challenges done, then she will get 5 days. And then my full coverage Tickle My Fancy and non-full coverage Tickle My Fancy, they will get 3 days each assigned. And my non-full coverage focus will be either doing 4 days or if I get it done. So if it gets done before time, here comes the part where I talked about my sales gift category in, that will just automatically stop. Because when I am done with all my rotations, including, so if I get one of them early done, that means I get an extra days on my sales, gifts, etc. So depending on how fast I am stitching a month and so on depends on how much time the sal/gifts category will get. So automatically, when I'm done with the other parts of the rotation, then I will do the sales and gifts, where I stitch on mostly what I feel like, what I want to, and so on. And as I said, when the first comes around, then I jump all over to the by the numbers again. So that is my plan so far. I really like it. I am really happy with how it looks. When it closes into 2019, I am planning to make some just writing everything down more on lists that I can show you, so you easily can understand what I'm talking about. And knowing me, the plans can still change, even though I feel very good about them so far. And yeah, so that's my plans. I hope it was not too confusing to try and keep up when talking, when I don't have anything like written down for you to see. I'm Batman, if you hadn't noticed him before now. So yeah, hope it was not too confusing. That is my plans going forward. My plans is to work on my Christmas stitching. This week is going to be super busy because my husband is a really loving husband that tries to be like, make us do a lot of fun things. The only problem sometimes is I'm not too a fan of doing a whole lot of fun things anymore because I'm getting so exhausting. But I think it will be fine. So tonight it's board game night. Again, we also had our regular one yesterday. It's Friday the 16th, by the way. Way too late to say that. So today we will play a game that we are playing once in a while with a friend. It is a detective game, so it's really fun, but it makes me exhausted, of course. Playing games usually gets my adrenaline pumping and I'm all there, and it totally makes my illness worse. So, and then on Saturday we are going to watch the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Grindelwald's Revenge, is it that? Yeah, it's something with Grindelwald. I totally have... It totally jumped out of my brain what it's called. So, and on Sunday there was talk about there was maybe supposed to be some family dinner, so we'll see if it's family dinner or not. If it is, I might just stay at home and chill. So, Christmas stitching, and I am hoping to, around the 19th or 20th, be able to stitch some on my Adventure Awaits, so I can get a little bit caught up before the last part comes out, so I can jump right into stitching the last part also, and get that done and out of the way. And it might be a good change to maybe do a little bit of Christmas stitching and then a little bit of my Adventure Awaits, because I had 2 bookmarks to finish and 8 coasters to stitch. So I finished one of the bookmarks and the other one is about halfway done. So if I finish the bookmark, it's only the coasters left, so I can do like maybe one of the coasters a day and then switch over to my adventure awaits just to get a little break. Since I have 2 times I sit down and stitch, maybe I will just do one of the parts doing the Christmas stitching and the other part do my adventure awaits. And if I'm tired of the Christmas stitching, just jump over and do some stitching on my epic Pokemon, because I'm still going to stitch each and every day on my epic Pokemon, so you will at least see that the next time. Stitch also going to work on when it's most likely Sunday or Monday. And so yeah, that is my plans. Then over to channel news. I think I will switch up when the next time you see me is, because before Fridays was a really good day for me to film and edit and so on, and it was partly a good day because I could film on the Tuesday and still get some good stitching in. But now the board game night is back on track because it had a break for a long time and it was summer and it was just sometimes here and there. So filming on Tuesdays, if I need, is not a good option. So what I will be doing instead is each week get a new start. Fresh start, say it that way. So that means I will start filming on Mondays, and if Mondays is a bad day, then I will film on Tuesdays. And when I was talking about Friday, I think I said Tuesday when I meant Thursday. Sorry about that. So Monday or Tuesdays, most likely Mondays, and if I'm lucky, I can maybe film a little bit on the Sunday. If my husband takes my son out, if there is like a family dinner and I'm not in good enough health to participate, etc. So Monday will be my new Flosstube update day, and I have now found a really good way to film. I did it in the live stitch with me. So yeah. So I think with me filming on Mondays, the live stitch with me, I don't know if I can move it. I will have to see. But I might move my live stitch with me. But we'll see. So this Tuesday I will at least do the live stitch with me, because I will not film now on Monday. It will be the next over there. So next time you see me, it will have been a little bit over a week since you last saw me. Almost a week and a half. So just as you know, that's what I had for you today. I really thought this would be a short one, but I'm always wrong when thinking that. So I will talk to you later. I think I have kept you busy for long enough. Thank you so much for coming and joining me and letting me share my stitching with you. I really love it. It's nice to have someone to talk stitching with. And yeah, so feel free to leave a like or a comment. Feel free to give your opinion on my epic Disney princess and Sal's for 2019. How you think maybe I could do it, make it fit. So thank you so much, and have a great weekend and week. So goodbye.